If you thought 2024 had good games, think again. 2025 is here to laugh in your face and drain your wallet dry. Time to call your landlord and start negotiating, because with the lineup we've got coming, I have no idea how we're supposed to afford rent. Let's dive into the chaos that's about to hit us.
Oh no, a black samurai on the new Assassin's Creed? Japanese here, sit your white ass down. So I was scrolling on Instagram and saw this post. I went to the comment field and there were a lot of white men saying that this is cultural appropriation. And me, as a Japanese, thought, but Yasuke actually existed. So to make sure my fellow Japanese people are on the same side with me, I went to X and looked it up in Japanese. And yes, they were on my side, saying that Yasuke actually existed and it's funny that foreigners don't like it. In 1627, an Italian missionary, Alessandro Valignano, came to Japan with his black slave. Oda Nobunaga, one of the strongest leaders back then, liked the slave so much because he was literally the first black person he's ever seen. So he negotiated Valignano to give the slave to him. Nobunaga named the slave Yasuke and gave him the status of bushi, and he made Yasuke his servant. So yeah, black samurai did exist. So it is not cultural appropriation. Hope this helps.
GTA 6 is the most anticipated game ever, with the initial trailer already setting new world records. The pressure on Rockstar has been immense to deliver something greater than what GTA 5 provided. Many wonder if GTA 6 can top the influence and success of GTA 5, which spanned over 10 years. How will Rockstar once again change the way we view games? With a reported production cost of $2 billion, GTA 6 is now the most expensive entertainment product ever made, which isn't surprising, considering the game entered its first development phase in 2014. More than 3,000 employees across 11 studios worldwide are working on the game, and the results were evident in the first trailer. From the crowded beach to the beautiful night scenes, GTA 6 already looks graphically and technically leaps ahead of other games. In addition, the trailer revealed several new and exciting features never seen in a game like GTA. Days before the GTA 6 trailer, a friend of a Rockstar employee's son allegedly leaked a video of the game in development. The footage showed a city with a big highway next to a skate park, which wasn't a surprising discovery after the 2022 GTA 6 leaks. The small clip was initially leaked on TikTok, and the account owner couldn't resist responding to messages. One particular message asked if the game would have enterable buildings, to which the leaker replied that at least 70% of the buildings would be accessible. Whether this is true is still questionable, as the leaker also claimed that the game is aimed for a 2024 release. However, the idea of making almost all buildings enterable isn't far-fetched, given the extensive work and production costs involved. With today's technologies, this vision is achievable. Back in 2012, Rockstar already envisioned 100% of the buildings being accessible. Every home interior modeled, every building enterable. These ideas were discussed in a 2012 briefing session at Rockstar North, where a bold vision for the next GTA was shared, even though the technology didn't exist back then. This game is unreal. I've watched the full 53-minute demo, and after seeing IGN's deep dive into Crimson Desert, here's what I've learned. The game is shaping up to be a brutal, fast-paced mix of combat and exploration. The protagonist, Cliff, carries a no-nonsense attitude and a Scottish accent, navigating a world that feels heavily inspired by a blend of modern Assassin's Creed, God of War, and Dragon's Dogma. Pearl Abyss went all out in making it visually jaw-dropping, and the combat system sounds wild too. Imagine smashing enemies with this combo system where 2-button presses lead to all kinds of cool moves, from huge slashes to wrestling-style takedowns. It's the kind of thing that makes you feel like a total beast when you're fighting humanoid enemies. The way the game handles particle effects, how the world reacts to your actions, like the ground cracking under a powerful slam, is on another level. Instead of picking up with Jin Sakai, the original game's main character, Ghost of Yote is set to feature a totally new protagonist named Atsu. And here's the kicker, it's set 300 years after the original, way up on the island of Hokkaido. So yeah, no Jin in this one. It's going to be a fresh story with a whole new vibe. The little info sucker punch did share hints that Atsu's story will be more of an underdog vengeance arc, which already sounds intense. But what's interesting is that they're really focusing on Atsu's journey solo, so she might not have the big cast of allies that Jin had in Tsushima. If you remember, Jin had all these unique characters helping him out: Yuna the thief, Lady Masako the warrior, Sensei Ishikawa the archer, and more. Their personal stories added a lot of depth depth to the game, and the quests with them were honestly as memorable as the main storyline. In Ghost of Yote, though, the setup looks different. First, there's the idea that Atsu's going down this more lone wolf path. The trailer even hints that she's on a hunt of some sort, which sounds like she might not be bringing a team along with her. Then, there's the location, Hokkaido. Back in 1603, Hokkaido was kind of rugged and isolated, pretty far removed from the samurai clans Jin worked with on Tsushima. It sounds like the island might have fewer people overall, and anyone Atsu does meet might not be the most welcoming, which would make the game's vibe feel way more isolated. All in all, we're probably looking at a story where it's just Atsu out there, forging her own path. That might mean fewer side characters and quests, but if her story is as well crafted as Jin's, this could end up feeling like an even more intense, personal journey. Alright, so let me tell you about Doom: The Dark Ages. Imagine everything you love about Doom: the insane weapons, the relentless combat, the over-the-top carnage, and then drop it into this gritty medieval setting. Instead of Mars or sci-fi hellscapes, you're now slaying demons in castles, dark forests, and apocalyptic medieval battlefields. It's like they took the chaos and dialed it up to 11 with a gothic fantasy vibe. The weapons? Oh man, they're nuts. There's this chainsaw shield you can actually throw, and it just shreds through enemies like it's nothing. Then you've got this flail weapon for up-close carnage and some crazy new guns like the Skull Crusher. But the real kicker, you can freaking ride a dragon. Yes, a dragon. And if that's not wild enough, there's also a mech you can jump into for some massive demon-slaying action. The combat's still that fast, brutal, in-your-face style Doom is known for, but they're adding some cool new twists. The environments are more destructible, and the battles look bigger and crazier than ever. It's like they're really leaning into this medieval apocalypse idea, and honestly, it looks incredible. Story-wise, we don't know too much yet, but the vibe seems to be the Doomslayer going up against an ancient demonic invasion during the Dark Ages. It's tying into the lore, but mostly it's just an excuse to let you rip demons apart with medieval flair. This feels like the kind of game that's going to take what we already love about Doom and just make it bigger, crazier, and so much more fun. I can't wait to see how it all comes together. Mafia: The Old Country is the upcoming fourth installment in the Mafia series, developed by Hangar 13 and published by 2K Games. Set in the early 1900s in Sicily, the game serves as a prequel, exploring the origins of organized crime. Players will assume the role of Enzo Favara, an orphaned laborer who becomes involved with the Teresi crime family, navigating the treacherous underworld of the time. The game was officially announced during Gamescom Opening Night Live in August 2024, with a teaser trailer showcasing its setting and narrative focus. A more detailed trailer was later revealed at the Game Awards in December 2024, providing further insights into the game's storyline and mechanics. The Old Country is scheduled for release in the summer of 2025 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC via Steam. Unlike its predecessors, this installment is expected to offer a more linear gameplay experience, emphasizing rich storytelling and authentic realism. Next up, we got Monster Hunter Wilds. It's the latest game from Capcom, set to release on February 28, 2025 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. This time they're launching it simultaneously on all platforms, which is a first for the series. In Monster Hunter Wilds, you'll explore a seamless open world without loading screens, featuring dynamic environments and ecosystems. The game introduces new mounts called secrets, which assist in traversal and combat, and a focus mode that allows you to target specific monster parts for extra damage. The ecosystem is designed to be realistic, with monsters interacting with each other and the environment, influenced by factors like weather and time of day. You can team up with friends in 4-player co-op mode. If you prefer solo play, you can enlist up to 3 AI-controlled hunters to assist you, so you're never truly alone on your adventures. The open beta was a hit, with over 460,000 concurrent players on Steam. This shows a strong interest and high expectations for the full release. If you're thinking about pre-ordering, there are several editions available, each offering exclusive cosmetic DLC packs, planned for release in spring and summer 2025. Overall, Monster Hunter Wilds seems to be pushing the series forward with its open-world design and new gameplay mechanics. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the series, it looks like it's going to be an exciting experience. And Capcom just dropped some good news for anyone who picked up the PS5 Pro. They're making sure Monster Hunter Wilds takes full advantage of the Pro's enhanced features with a day one patch. Alright, we finally got some brand new Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay, and this time it's all about the tech behind the upgraded Anvil engine. First up, the updated geometry is looking pretty damn impressive. What Ubisoft did was build more independent segments for things like doors, fences, jars, and other decorations, which means they break more realistically. For example, playing as Yasuke, you can use your kick, which is part of a regular attack combo, to knock over a fish rack and watch all the pieces fall individually. You can even destroy market parasols. I'm curious if there'll be a wanted system like in Mirage or Odyssey, where if you start smashing up property, roaming bosses will come to hunt you down. I sure hope so, but either way, it looks pretty sick. You can also use this destructibility to create openings in houses, or use a shoulder bash to go through these SOI doors. Wei can also use this system. Slashing with her sword feels very realistic. It can even destroy some plants, but the real fun comes when using the origami in a bamboo forest. That's gonna be super satisfying. Another cool thing in Assassin's Creed Shadows is the new wind system that makes trees move very realistically, just like the grass. This even affects the water streams in rivers. You'll see leaves flying by. They also have this new thing called Edmos that simulates clouds dynamically, meaning rain and snowfall can be fully simulated rather than pre-programmed. In previous games like Valhalla and Odyssey, you'd have regions where it would always snow, but in Shadows, snow can exist anywhere in the world if it makes sense for the current season. And just so you know, all this gameplay you're seeing is on PS5, not the PS5 Pro. We've now learned that guards might get sleepy after standing in the sun all day, which means they're less alert, perfect for sneaking past them. Heavy snowfall can also block guards' vision, and rain will make your footsteps less noticeable. But the dynamic lighting will be the real game changer. I loved the recent gameplay where we saw Nawe stay out of the light from a window to avoid getting spotted by enemies. We're gonna have to think about our surroundings in completely new ways. That said, these sneaky tactics won't work with Yasuke. In the new gameplay, we saw him try a leap of faith, and yeah, that didn't go so well. But I like this approach. Add some humor instead of removing the feature altogether, because that would mess with the gameplay too much. In a new blog post, Ubisoft mentioned that Yasuke is still stealth capable, able to sneak, assassinate, and silently kill with his bow. And silently is the key here, because his assassinations won't be quiet at all. Yasuke is an honorable samurai, so when he crouches toward an enemy with their back turned, he yells for them to turn around before assassinating them. And that shout will definitely alert everyone nearby. Still, a full stealth run might be possible if you stick to using only the bow, which is interesting. If you want to be ahead of all the gaming leaks and news, specifically PlayStation news, time for you to subscribe. And as always, a like on the video is very much appreciated.